The Grandstone diesel boots in Loden Suede are well suited to be worn outdoors and in casual settings. Outdoors because first and foremost your feet will stay dry if you step into water. The outsoles provide decent traction, and the uppers don't show dirt, scratches, or scuffs so easily. These have an appearance similar to a mix of dry moss and soil, ranging from shades of olive and army green in partial lighting and indoor spaces to various tones of brown, especially when in bright or direct lighting. I'd say the store page images are accurate, but they tend to show the dark army green color more, which makes sense since one of the main selling points of Loden Suede is the green color. It's when wearing them you begin to notice they show a lot more brown tones than you'd expect. Now, I actually haven't worn these that much. Maybe 100 miles at most. However, since they're far from being delicate or dress boots, I wanted to wear them in rougher conditions to see how heritage style and construction hold up. At least 2/3 of the time these were worn on ground with sand, rocks, and/or gravel. In particular, most of the wear, or damage if you prefer, is from one particular trek with lots of uneven ground and jagged rocks. That's how most of these scratches and chips formed on the midsole, with even a very slight separation between the leather midsole and rubber outsole in some areas. Probably not even a millimeter, but something to note. Loden Suede is easily one of the softest suedes around. As a result, they're great to wear in warmer weather, especially since it also breathes quite well. That's why I say the fit is forgiving or highly accommodating, but not necessarily loose, in that because it's not rigid, the boots will give way and conform more to your movements compared to a stiffer suede, nubuck, or smooth leather. There was little to no break-in needed for the upper. I followed the size guide and went down half a size from my Brannick measurement, and the fit is good. When walking on relatively even ground, these are comfortable, just like any other Grandstone boot in the Leolast with their studded rubber outsole. Though on uneven ground for anything more than 5 miles or about 8 kilometers, the forgiving fit led to my feet moving around just a little too much. I certainly didn't get blisters, but the minor yet constant moving of my feet made for some discomfort, even after the insole started imprinting the shape of my feet, and I wore medium weight socks. Thicker socks helped, and if the Leolast is an excellent fit for you, this likely won't be much of an issue. In general, the Leolast is a good, but not great or excellent fit for me. In other variations of the diesel boot, or the Ottawa boot that's also on the Leolast, I can also get movement around the midfoot and heel area, but it's even less noticeable compared to the softer feel of this Loden Suede upper material. Thicker socks would also help keep your feet warmer when the temperature drops to 10 degrees Celsius or lower. I also wore these in frosty conditions, firmly at or below 0 degrees Celsius, to get a feel for how they would do in the winter. I'm used to cold weather, but I would say these won't really help keep your feet warm. If you're walking around, especially in the sun, you'll be fine for about 1 to 3 hours. If you aren't moving much and in a shady area, your feet might even start feeling cold in half an hour. That'd be kind of obvious given what I said about the boots being good for warmer weather and being breathable. But again, I just wanted to test these boots in conditions beyond what they might normally go through. Now back to the outsole, it's alright. If you're careful, you can walk on some wet rocks or even mildly frosted concrete relatively safely if you're paying attention to how you're stepping. My experience with these boots has been somewhat unusual because normally I'd wear a dedicated hiking boot if I plan on going through rougher terrain, so I've been quite pleased with how well they've held up under the more rapid wearing and aging I've put them through. Caring for these boots is quite easy. You could do nothing at all and they would be okay since they aren't formal footwear. But if you wanted to, you could just remove surface dirt when needed. Simply use your hands and wipe off debris from the upper and welt. Then clap the outsoles together, rub on some grass, and most of the dirt is already gone. To take it a step further, you could use an actual brush, like this horsehair brush, also from Grant Stone. Then gently brush away. These boots don't really need it since they didn't have anything like dried mud on them, but you could remove the laces and use a dedicated suede brush and suede shampoo if they were dirtier. For the welt, leather midsole, and rubber outsole, a damp rag can get the job done. With this closer view, the wear on the back of the rubber heel is more visible. From what I understand, Loden Suede is already water resistant because it gets shrunk so the fibers become tighter. Applying a protective spray can help but isn't necessary. I do it more to protect against dirt, especially moist dirt. It makes cleaning easier and staining much less likely. If, for example, mud, sauce, or some kind of drink were to make their way onto the boots. Saphir Nano is quite well known, or you could use something else like this waterproofing spray from Cobbler's Choice. Just spray a light coat, then brush with a suede brush when the boots have dried. Pressure from the laces leaves these marks on the tongue so they won't fully go away. Also, you won't really see this when the laces are on. The tongue has a partial gusset, so it helps with further dirt and water resistance. When the midsole was freshly damaged, it was very noticeable because the damaged areas were much lighter. So I used dark and medium brown shoe cream, which made a big difference. Normally, medium brown would be enough, but this was a special case. Just had to darken those areas a bit more. There you have it, my report on the Grant Stone diesel boots in Loden Suede. If you like boots, style, and stories from travel, please stay tuned for more similar content in the very near future. I've planned a lot. Also, check out the Time Travel Style website from time to time for suggestions of apparel and even the occasional giveaway. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.